So real simply, the gospel is salt and light, and we're going to concentrate on the salt. It's the 8 a.m. Mass, so I decided to keep it simple, more for my benefit than for yours. And the only question really is, do you guys eat before you come to Mass, or do you wait until after Mass and then go to one of our local restaurants? Just kind of interested to see how crowded it's going to be afterwards. Because, got me thinking about this, there used to be this restaurant in Greenville, South Carolina, called the Good'N Good restaurant. It was good, and actually, it was better than that. They had the best everything, and there was one reason everything was so delicious: salt. The parking lot was always full, and as you waddled out, stuffed full of biscuits and gravy, there was always someone waddling in, excited to eat something that actually had some flavor. Salt makes everything it touches better. It's not that complicated. And this is not a church teaching that I'm about to say, and I wasn't going to say it because I didn't want to single people out, but I have this theory that the people that go into Whole Foods to shop for groceries are mostly skinny, unhappy-looking people who do not enjoy food. They just eat to survive. Whereas people that go into Publix are often overweight, but there is a spring in their step because they're really looking forward to eating. And why are they looking forward to eating? Salt. I will continue. Can you imagine the world before salt? I mean, salt makes everything awesome, right? Popcorn without salt, meh. Bacon without salt is just a piece of fatty pork. It is because it is cured in salt that it has flavor. And I think before salt, the culinary world was probably like Whole Foods or one of those health food markets. Bland everything. Your eggs are bland in the morning, your salad is bland at lunch, and your dinner is, well, just steak bland. Nothing had any flavor before someone discovered that salt would work well as a flavor additive, and it also acted as a preserving chemical. So when Jesus says, "You are the salt of the earth," I think he means that we are all here to preserve and make more enjoyable his teachings. As the salt of the earth, we exist to provide a spice of sorts to the world. We exist to make his teachings more palatable. When others see us involved in the recipe of life, they marvel at how our involvement in their lives makes things better. Like popcorn with salt or a delicious piece of crispy bacon, our presence makes things so much better. Now take the other extreme. I had a hamburger the other day, and it had way too much salt. And I mean, the first bite was amazing. I said, wow, this is really flavorful. But by the third bite, I was wondering if I could finish it. I finished it. But that, my friends, too much salt, if we are the salt, that is fundamentalism. When you cram your beliefs down someone's throat and you have this concept, like in the video that we just watched at the beginning, this concept that if a little salt is good, then a lot of salt is really, really good. It's not. It's not even healthy. Kind of like the hamburger that I had. I will never go back there again, even though the guy that prepared the hamburger probably knew what was right for me because I needed flavor in my life, and he thought that he was making something magical for me. Too much salt has a name. It's called fundamentalism. And I call it the church of being right. Fundamentalism is the scourge of Christianity. It is prideful self-righteousness, and its presence in the world actually does more harm than good. It separates people from God by making him unachievable. Fundamentalism separates and spoils. Salt joins and preserves. And Don't think that fundamentalism is exclusive to Protestantism. Plenty of Catholics have been influenced by this rhetoric. The point of this gospel is that we as Christians are supposed to be the salt of the earth, the light of the world. We should make the earth come alive for Christ himself. We bring it his flavor. People are amazed at how wonderful and marvelous his teachings are when they see them in action, when they see us in action. They may not notice the salt, but they can taste it, can't they? And when our involvement in something becomes all about us, all about the salt, then we ruin the recipe. Do you understand? We are not the hamburger. We are the salt. Remember our place. Try to avoid telling others that they are wrong and that there is only one way to be right. We are the salt of the earth, meant to make things better. And by the way, the clue on how salt keeps from losing its taste, that Jesus said, you don't want to be trampled underfoot, right? How do you lose or keep from losing your taste? By doing what the first reading says. Share your bread with the hungry. Shelter the oppressed and the homeless. Clothe the naked when you see them, and do not turn your back on your own. Living your faith is how you remain flavor-filled. These are the teachings of Christ and his church. All we have to do is make them happen. It's not that complicated. Be the salt of the earth.